There's a lot we still don't know about the summit. You outlined some of the initial obvious problems, is that we gave concrete concessions to China, like lifting sanctions against entities and persons involved in genocide against religious and ethnic minorities in China. China only gave us promises. For instance, the promise to stop shipping precursor chemicals for deadly fentanyl to Mexico. That's probably about as valuable as Xi Jinping's promises to Joe Biden's old boss, Barack Obama, that China would stop cyber attacks or that they wouldn't put rockets and missiles on the islands they built in the South China Sea. I'm also worried about just the overall demeanor and attitude that Joe Biden had at that summit. It's one thing to meet with our communist adversaries. It's another thing for Joe Biden to say that it was an honor and a pleasure to welcome a communist dictator like Xi Jinping to America.
Yeah, not to mention the CEOs of America giving Xi Jinping a standing ovation. That was Arkansas Senator Tom Cotton slamming the president's meeting with Xi Jinping in San Francisco last week. A readout of the Biden meeting with Xi showed that the president did not mention the COVID pandemic, nor the origins of the virus at all. The two leaders met for over 4 hours last week, but it appears the president steered clear away from bringing up anything confrontational. Joining me right now is Ohio Congressman Brad Wenstrup. He is the chairman of the House Select Committee on the COVID pandemic. He's also a member of the House Intelligence and House Ways and Means Committee. And Congressman, you recently announced that you are going to be retiring from Congress next year. I want to thank you so much for your incredible service to our country, including your time in Congress, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Maria. We'll continue to fight for truth, justice, and the American way. I've got 14 months left to go in Congress, and we'll continue that fight afterwards. I'll just have the opportunity to be home with my two small children a little bit more often, and I think that's #1 priority right now in my life, as well as curing the ills of America.
And I want to talk about that because your committee and you have done incredible work in terms of the COVID-19 pandemic. You also heard from EcoHealth Alliance President Peter Daszak last week. EcoHealth has been accused of using taxpayer money to fund the gain-of-function research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology that potentially led to the COVID-19 pandemic. Tell us what you've learned from all of your study.
Well, it's interesting because, first of all, who is Peter Daszak? So he is the head of EcoHealth Alliance. It's a nonprofit that receives NIH grants, in other words, taxpayer dollars. He is a zoologist, not a virologist, yet he's doing coronavirus research in China, in Wuhan, that did involve gain-of-function research or creation of chimeras. So we had a transcribed interview with him this past week, and we learned a few things. One, we learned that he was warned about the dangers of a possible pandemic by the CCP, or before the CCP went public with it. We also realized that he was able to brief Dr. Fauci after he went to China and to the WIV, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, in 2021. And he represented, I guess, America at that point for that. But he briefed Dr. Fauci afterwards, so he has a relationship with him. He also said that Dr. David Morens was his mentor. Dr. Morens was an advisor to Dr. Fauci. What we have found when we get into internal documents is Dr. Morens actually said to those that were working with Dr. Fauci to claim that the COVID virus came from nature, he told them, I want you to email me on my Gmail because these blankety blanks are FOIA-ing me, and I don't want them to see things. So if I have it on my Gmail, I delete what I don't want to get into New York Times, which is illegal. And the archives suggested that NIH investigate him. And to date, they will not turn over any part of their investigation on his illegal activities. So this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with agencies that are trying to avoid us at all costs. But at the same time, you are seeing, like the Department of Energy, FBI coming around saying this came from a lab. John Ratcliffe testified in front of our committee, and he said this clearly looks like it came from the lab. It's the only credible explanation that's out there, and he feels that more and more agencies will come around once they see all the information. And then why would the Chinese embassy send me a letter right when this subcommittee started saying they have grave concerns about this investigation and this committee, and they firmly oppose it? It should be conducted by scientists. I said, well, we're having scientists in, and I recommended that 5 of their scientists come in and appear before us. Of course, that won't happen. But interesting too, Maria, through this, 4 things that we know before this pandemic and its origins basically became public coming out of China that they did in Wuhan. One, what happened is researchers got sick. In the fall of 2019, these things happened. Yep. Researchers from Wuhan got sick with COVID-like illness. They deleted sequences they had in their file of viruses. They got a new ventilation system, and they turned their lab over from civilian control to military control. President Xi is aware of this. And why is he hiding this? Why was there no discussion with Joe Biden and President Xi on this very issue? You know, Daszak was warned and said nothing. And let's go to proximal origins again. The piece that was written by and prompted by Dr. Fauci and Dr. Collins, as we have seen in internal emails, and they ignore the lab leak theory altogether. They say it came from nature. In their internal discussions, they say that they really believe this looks engineered, probably came from a lab, but they said, well, they hate when politics gets involved, but in this case, we must, because imagine what it will do to international harmony if we say this came from the lab. And I want to add one more thing about our subcommittee. The Democrats seem to have no interest in this whatsoever. They do want to look forward and maybe things we can do better, but don't want to look back on things that were done. They want to ignore it. They want to ignore Dr. Fauci, Dr. Collins, and all these other players. And they no-showed for the transcribed interview. We had several members on the Republican side there for the transcribed interview with Dr. Daszak. And I'll go back even further to Adam Schiff when he left as chairman of the Intelligence Committee. One of the things he said in their report is, we should just forget about trying to discover the origins of COVID. It's time to move on. Well, that's false. We need to know where this came from for a variety of reasons.
That is incredible. All of that is incredible, Congressman. And I cannot thank you enough for doing the work that you've done on this. So what do you think here happened? It was engineered, came out of the Wuhan lab, and then China tried to cover it up. That doesn't tell me anything about whether or not it was intentional. I mean, is there a chance that China released this virus on America intentionally? Disrupt the country, get Donald Trump out, get your man in there, Joe Biden, and then cover it up.
Well, they certainly didn't try to protect America, did they? I mean, so whether it was intentional or accidental, they seem to be aware of it. And as I recall, and I could be wrong on this, President Xi was telling Donald Trump, everything's okay. And Donald Trump was repeating what President Xi said. Now Democrats call President Trump a liar, but it seems that he was just repeating what President Xi said, and obviously it was more dangerous. So not only was it killing Chinese, it was killing people all around the world. So it's not just America. Look, we also know on the intelligence side, many of the things that China has been working on as far as bioweapons, and including bioweapons that are derived from coronaviruses. So we know that this has been going on. We have all these things to consider. This administration seems to want to ignore all of that, and we do not. And it also seems that Democrats in general, and I don't get it, and I don't understand why Dr. Fauci wouldn't want to have the debate over whether this came from the lab or whether it came from nature. It's a good scientific debate.
Yeah, is it because he's getting paid by China? I mean, the House Committee on China says that another illegal Chinese biolab was uncovered in California last week. It's being run by a Chinese citizen who is wanted in Canada. He has ties to the communist Chinese government. It was testing deadly viruses like Ebola and HIV, Congressman. So why the heck do we still have labs experimenting on these potential bioweapons right now?
Well, that's a good question, but you got to take a look at who's in charge of America today. And Democrats seem to want to ignore every bit of this. And I'm trying to be nonpartisan with this whole thing. But what we keep seeing is attempts to cover up, attempts to ignore what took place. And it doesn't make any sense. It's not good for the public health in the United States of America. And I hope at some point Democrats come around to reality that this is a problem that we have, that's a problem for all of America and for that matter for the world.
Yeah.
But it seems that we want to not only appease Iran with this administration, but we want to appease China. And I don't know why.
Well, look, it's just more evidence that this administration and the Democrat Party are putting America in danger. Add that to the long list, including the wide open border. Congressman, thank you so much for doing this work. This was an incredible interview this morning, and we appreciate your time and your work. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Maria.